Hello, this is Beanie here. Today, this piece of news caught my attention. The news is that Tesla stock rises after Trump administration signals robotic push. Apparently, after pushing the AI industry, Trump wants to push the robotic industry, so to compete with China. So Tesla stocks went up 4% overnight, but because of this 4% rise overnight, there is a significant shift in its technical movement. So today, this video, we're going to investigate on Tesla technical movement with the use of wash and rinse. If you hadn't taken the free module on wash and rinse, I recommend that you can take that. So this is the link to take the free wash and rinse module, so that you can understand more about how I apply wash and rinse into Tesla. This is the day chart of Tesla. What I've added in are sets of moving averages from 20 all the way to 200. We can see that the current price section, Tesla is very much supported by the moving averages, and then it's showing an uptrend. In terms of the pattern, so this is a potential cup and handle pattern here with the neckline. Let me just draw in the neckline at this point here. Now, this means that in order to confirm this cup and handle, Tesla must close above the neckline, which is somewhere around 470. Now, but this video, I want to focus very much on what's happening in this region here. That means that what's happening in the cup area. Now, let me just remove the moving averages and focus into this area. But more important, I want to understand the behavior, the price action from the weekly chart point of view. Now, why do I want to go to weekly chart? That's because weekly chart gives me a condensed view of what happens in the past week. And that's pretty much reduced confusion. Now, let's take a look at the two lines that I've drawn here. So this is a wash line number 1, and then wash line number 2. Now, how do I get this wash line here? Now, first, let me just label the candles. Now, if I say that this is a reference candle, and then this is the current candle, we know that 1 closed below 0. Okay, so because of 1 closing below 0, then the conclusion was that somewhere between the candle number 1, the sellers had an upper hand and buyers were weak, and therefore the price was able to close lower than the low of the reference candle. Now, what I did was to draw a horizontal line at this reference candle here, which is 0 low, and that says that if price continue lower, it means that the bears have an upper strength. Now, if you take a look at, let's say, this candle number 2, which is this red longer candle here versus candle number 1, we know that candle number 2 closed below the low of 1. Now, it means that bears continue to gain an upper hand because it was able to push price lower to make the trading price of Tesla much lower than last week low. What I did was to draw in the wash line number 2 here. Now, the whole idea is that if price continue to move lower and continue to trade lower than the wash line, then Tesla would be weak. However, we saw that something changed at candle number, let me just put candle number 3 here, and this is 4, and then this is the current candle, which is number 5. Now, something changed at candle number 4 because it's traded higher than the wash line number 2. Now, it seems to suggest that now bulls, which are buyers, they are in control and they gain that upper hand because they're able to trade higher than the wash line number 2. Now, what this also means is that whoever who sold here, right, whoever who was selling at below 422, all right, let's say they sold Tesla at 380, when they see that candle number 4 happens, then they sort of regretted, because then the selling price was much lower than the price in candle number 4. Now, when candle number 5 came and it traded higher than 438, which was the price of the wash line number 1, now this means that whoever who sold here, they sold at a lousy price. They sold at a much lower price because price was able right now to trade higher than whatever they sold. Now, what happened if you sell at an average of $400, let's say, for example, and then just 2 weeks later, you find that price is now trading at 446. Now, how do you feel? You will feel, why do I sell so low? Is it that something that good that's going to happen? I regretted my sale. So that's where the bulls now seems to be taking over the bears. Okay, and we say that this whole part of the price action here, people who sold had been wash and rinse. That means that they didn't sell at a good price and then now they regretted. They seems to be selling at a low price, and I term this as a wash and rinse behavior. Now what all this tells us is that from the price action and from the current price right now, which is at 446, Tesla seems to complete that wash and rinse pattern. But a disclaimer first is that because this is a weekly chart, we need to wait for the end of the week to confirm this wash and rinse. Now the other way is that we can switch this into a day chart and try to know that whether yesterday closed, the last night closed, whether it is really that bullish. And then another way is that I want to see a continuation of price being supported above the wash lines. Either of these two wash lines are fine, but I need to see that it's being supported and ultimately can do a rebound eventually to hit higher. Okay, all these are all hypothetical because it hasn't happened, and also this is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but just presenting to you from the candles and from the price action point of view what might be happening to the interaction between the buyers and seller. All right, so I hope that the sharing of wash and rinse phenomena is useful, but the next part I'm just going to take like 30 seconds to talk about then if you do want to do short-term trading. But again, because then we are talking about this could be news, if you do want to do short-term trading on Tesla, what can you do? This is a website on SocGen. What they offer is daily leverage certificates. Now, do understand the risk of trading with DLCs, and you can understand from the education page here. But if you scroll down and you can see that they offer quite a lot of US stocks, including Tesla here. Click on that and then go under search. Now you will see daily long and daily short. If you are bullish, then you will buy a daily long. If you are bearish, you will buy a daily short. And which one you want to consider, I'll always look for the one that's most sensitive, the one with a star. So we have this as a star, and then this one which is daily short as a star. Now understand by clicking and then see the correlation of a DLCs with a Tesla stocks. So for example, if I will click this, and you can see that the price movement of the DLCs, which is the one in red, okay, that means that this particular contract in red correlates very well with a price of Tesla, which is in black. Now, this means that instead of buying into a Tesla stocks, you might want to consider trading into DLCs for a few advantages, such as it is cheaper because Tesla is about $400, but DLCs is trading in Sing dollar about $4. But again, that do note the risk involved in trading into DLCs. It is meant for short-term trading only. Let me know what you feel about Tesla, and whether you find that analyzing Tesla with wash and rinse is useful to you. If yes, please remember to subscribe to the channel. There will be a lot more videos that I'm going to do. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.